Hello everyone, it is Christmas time in Trinidad and Tobago. We made it. 2019 is almost ours and we're looking on to a new decade. But before we do, we have to come together, give thanks for the year, enjoy Christmas, break bread together, which is my favorite part of the whole season, is actually the food. I mean, is that a big shock to you all? I don't think so. I mean, aside from the gifts and the running around, the shopping, it's always nice to come back to the kitchen and make something delicious to share with your family and friends. So today I have the perfect recipe for a Christmas rum cake. And I know it's not one of the more popular cakes for Christmas. We have Dundee cake, we have black cake, but I kind of wanted to try something new and share something that I love with you guys. So I'm gonna run through this recipe with you guys and let's get started. Here in the Caribbean, we celebrate our rich and diverse heritage every day in every pot. The story of our shared experiences is told in every bite of our favorite dishes. Join us as we explore Caribbean cuisine, where every dish is simply local. Now, before we get started, we so appreciate your support throughout the entire year. And if you've been watching our videos and enjoying, be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, and like us on Facebook. So for this recipe, we're using a bundt pan. And this one I have here, I actually inherited from my Auntie Janice. When she was moving out, she gave me this one. Auntie Janice also gave us our current soul recipe, hashtag no fakery in the bakery. And we're gonna be using this, but the thing is, this is not non-stick. So we're going to have to make sure we totally grease this and flour it really good so that we have no sticking, and you know sticking is never a good thing, right? We're just gonna make sure and totally flour the pan. Okay, so the next step in preparing our pan is actually going to be lining the base with some fresh chopped pecans. And please, 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 even if you have a non-stick bundt pan, please do not skip that step, because what's the point? And you know me, I have real trust issues when it comes to these non-stick pans. I always want to flour them and grease them properly. Today we're using the cuisine pecans, and these are whole and lightly roasted. They're delicious. I mean, pecans are my favorite nut, personally. I love making pecan tarts. I love sneaking in pecans here and there into sticky buns or whatnot. And I find that with rum and a caramel and kind of that spice flavor profile, they go super well. So I'm just gonna give these a rough chop and then place them into the base of my bundt pan. So our pan is prepared. Next, we're gonna move on to actually making the cake. So right here, I have some softened unsalted butter, and I'm just gonna lightly beat this. Actually, not so lightly. And then if you haven't guessed it already, we're gonna add our granulated sugar right in. And now we're gonna beat this until it's light and fluffy. So I just finished creaming our butter and sugar. The yellow is very pale and it's ready for the eggs. So I'm gonna add each egg. I have 3 here. I'm adding them one at a time, and I'm going to scrape in between each addition. And you really wanna add your eggs and put the mixer on low speed. If you're doing this by hand, just take your time and don't like beat the crap out of it. You wanna just take your time and incorporate the eggs. So let's go. So it's super nice and fluffy. It looks like marshmallow fluff almost. And now we're gonna move on to our dry ingredients. I'm just gonna scoot this aside, and I have a little setup here with my sieve and a bowl. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add 1.5 cups of cuisine all-purpose flour. And I'm going to, got a little surprise in there. And I'm going to sift together the all-purpose flour along with a lot of different delicious spices to kind of kick in the Christmas factor into this cake, you know? So 1.5 cups, I'm just gonna sip this right in, about halfway. And then to this, I'm going to add some cinnamon, cardamom or elaichi powder. I have some nutmeg here. The nutmeg is a little bit rough, so I'm just gonna dump it right in. And we have some clove. And then to this, we're going to add our baking powder, baking soda, and then salt. And don't worry about the exact measurements. The full recipe will be in the link below, so you can check it out. And the scent of all these spices, oh, it smells so good. So excited for Christmas morning. So our dry ingredients are ready. And then last but not least, we have to add some milk. So I'm gonna just measure out here, 1/2 cup of Cuisine full cream milk. And to this, I'm going to add just a little bit of vanilla essence right here. So I'm gonna do the rest of this recipe by hand just because I don't wanna run the risk of over mixing this cake at all. So I'm going to add about 1 cup of my dry ingredients to my butter and eggs. I'm gonna do a quick fold. I'm just gonna add our vanilla and milk mixture. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the dry ingredients with the milk alternately until there's nothing left. And you just wanna make sure you always start with the dry ingredients and then you end with your milk. My mom is a huge cake baker when it's Christmas time. She does all the Dundee cake, all the black cake, and that's part of her gift giving routine. Everybody always says, you should sell it, it's so good. And her recipe card for the Dundee cake and the black cake, I swear it's like on the most old like typewritten. I'm not trying to make my mom sound old. She's a very beautiful lady. But it's on the oldest typewritten piece of paper that's clearly been handed down from generations. And she pulls it out every single Christmas and she makes her cakes with so much love. She, beforehand, she's soaking her fruits, everything. And she's not a big kitchen person, but when it's Christmas time, there's no stopping her with those cakes. And they're so good, they really are. So shout out to my mom. Love you. Okay, lastly, we have a little bit of orange zest here that I'm just gonna fold in. Just gonna sprinkle and fold it in. That's just to add that little extra Christmas factor. And we have our prepared bun tin right here. So I'm going to drop it in different points of the pan and then kind of spread it all together. And so now we're just gonna lightly just spread it to make sure it's nice and even. And all right, this is our cake and it's ready to go in the oven. I have my oven set at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm gonna leave it in there for about 40 minutes and I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do to it next. All right, so our cake is in the oven. Now I'm gonna make a really quick, delicious rum glaze. It's gonna put the rum into our Christmas rum cake. So I'm gonna add some butter to my hot pot. I'm just gonna let this melt down. You can see it's getting nice and brown. So next we're gonna add our granulated sugar. Just gonna mix this in and then top it off with some water. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this boil and bubble up and get nice and thick. And you'll see it'll look like a kind of like a caramel toffee look, and then we're gonna add our rum and that's where the party starts. All right. So as you can see here, our glaze is bubbled up so nicely. A lot of the vapor is escaping super quickly. So I'm actually gonna just turn down the heat now. I'm gonna keep stirring it. And trust me guys, be really careful with this. This is boiling hot lava right here. I'm gonna add my rum. There you go. And some of the alcohol is gonna steam off, but we're making this quite a bit rummy. So there you go. And then right here we have our cake that has just come out the oven. It's still warm, but we actually need it to be warm for this process. So I have a nice deep spoon here. I'm gonna take some of this hot glaze and I'm going to pour it straight on to our cake that just came out of the oven. Oh, y'all, I wish y'all could smell this, seriously. Just generously lacquer this right on. So now I'm gonna let this cake sit for about 5 minutes and then we're gonna flip it onto our cake stand and then just finish that glazing process. Hold on for a sec. All right, everyone, it's the moment of truth. Time to take this bun out of the pan and into our stomachs, right? So I'm gonna just flip my cake stand over onto the pan. And you have to have some confidence with this, don't be scared. So I'm just gonna kind of push everything towards me so I can get some leverage underneath. And then make sure I have it good, and then give it a flip. There you go. Now let's see what we have going on here. Ready? And voila! Looks like a cute little Christmas wreath, did you find? And all the pecans have baked in so beautifully. Oh, I'm so glad this looks good. It always gives you a little sweat when you have a pan that's you're not really accustomed using. But I'm just gonna push this a little bit more to the center. So beautiful. And now I'm going to, you guessed it, spoon some more of this delicious glaze right over the top. The knife just, I didn't even have to push the knife. It just goes right through the pecans. All that delicious glaze just at the base right there. Oh yeah. Well, what else can I say besides Merry Christmas, y'all? All the toasty notes from the spices, the crunch from the pecans on top. The rum is soaked through deliciously. It's so incredibly moist. I don't know if y'all can see that. The sponge is amazing. So this is the perfect gift. It's the perfect thing to have and share with your family and friends. We have some rum strip at the bottom, so the best storage I think would be to put it into one of those cookie tins and just let the cake just sit in it and just continue to soak up all the glaze. I think I'm really gonna eat this entire piece of cake right here before we wrap. So I put my cake down for a second because I want to send this extremely heartfelt and important message to all you viewers. On behalf of eatahfood, we sincerely thank you for tuning in week after week, for all your positive comments, for all your likes, for your support. It means the world to us and it's made our 2019 fantastic. So I wish you and your family from the bottom of my heart a Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year. Special thanks to our sponsors Cuisine for making this video happen. Cuisine products can be found at all Massey stores nationwide. And until next time, I will see you guys in 2020, please God. Mwah. Bye bye.